Yo guys, welcome back to another Danmachi Memoria Freese video. Familia Rush hasn't just come out. It's been out a while. I'm making this video really late and I'm really sorry about that. I know a couple of you guys actually asked me for advice, but it's been a pretty hectic day for me. So I'm going to get this out as fast as I can. I'm not going to do a live demo because I want to keep, the shorter I keep the video, the faster I can get it out. So we're going to start with what I always start with when I give advice for these sort of things is make sure you have the appropriate gear. Okay, so we're going to come over here to armor, and right here, right here, got snacks like I must. Anyway, the revolving amulet. Now, not all of you may be aware what this amulet does. Basically, what it does is it allows you to bring your substitute members in on turn 1 or just after turn 1, which is amazing because basically what that does is it allows you to stack not 4 but 6 assist debuffs. If, say, hypothetically, if you have 2 revolving amulets, you can bring in both your sub members, and instead of having 4 assist character debuffs or buffs, you will have 6. Okay, powerful, very powerful, especially if you have the right combination of assists. Can be very helpful. I would recommend making these first before the next item, which I'm going to show you, which is the Glorious Anklet. Okay, the Glorious Anklet, this is where RNG can come in and pretty much slap you. Yes, you're reading that correctly. It gives you a 100% chance to resist a specific status ailment. However, whichever one you get is random. So you can, we need poison and slow for the for this familiar, okay? But you can craft 20 of these and never get any of those. Okay, so what I recommend is start doing these, start getting your amulets and your anklets ready, but do your amulets first because they'll probably be more useful for you at the moment, and then start crafting these glorious anklets as soon as you have enough skills, which you should have some at the moment anyway. But yeah, glorious anklets and the revolving amulet, definitely worth investing in. Okay, now we're going to come straight over here to the event itself, and I'm going to show you 2 teams. I shouldn't note okay. I'm doing this from the perspective of a casual player, not someone like myself who spends hours grinding it daily. So these teams are going to reflect that because I'm trying to base it on what most people might have. Ignore this piece of crap team. This is not this is not one of them. This team is the team I put together earlier. I've put 2 teams together. This team, compared to the other team, puts out a lot more damage. I'm going to quickly explain what this team does. Ignore the substitutes because like most new players on the EU, I don't expect you guys to have revolving amulets or glorious anklets all put together just yet. If you do, fantastic. You can get the right sub members together with a combination of assist, and this should be even easier for you. But how to put this? Okay, so the meat of this whole thing here is the Argonaut and the Crozo. Obviously, you should know by now, if you have them, how they work off of each other and how they complement each other and where all the damage comes from. I'm not going to bother explaining any of these assists except Take, because you may not even have any of these assists. Haruhime, great healer, gives you a physical and magical resistance buff of 35%. Is it 35 or 30? I'm not sure. I'm not going to go through it right now. I want to get straight through this. Also, she heals. Also, she has MP regen, you know, and she extends status debuffs, which is great. Okay, because you are going to be slapping debuffs on there with the Crozo, because this first stage does have a resistance to fire, if I remember correctly, and Crozo is going to be the guy that removes that resistance. Now, onto Chigusa. Chigusa's, she's a hard-hitting water physical type. So she gets, I think it's a 50% damage increase on this first stage. But on top of that, she also has an ability that increases her special attack gauge by 100%. It doesn't increase it by 100%, sorry. Increases the amount she gains, or the whole team gains per hit for 5 turns. So you will stack up your special attacks a lot faster, which is what we want because you've only got 7 turns to do it in, and we want to try and get off 2 special attacks, one with Crozo, one with Argonaut, so we can get off their specialized combo attack for the increased damage output. As much damage as we can get is what we're aiming for. like I said, the subs are not really important here because no one, with the Haruhime out here, no one's really going to die. Now we're going to move on to the second team because I know a few of you guys joined after the Argonaut and Crozo banners left, which is what we have here. This is a mixture of some of the more my hair. I need a haircut, but it's winter time, so I'm not going to bother. This is a combination of the more recent units. So we have the new Bell with the Take. Bell is on the team because he removes status ailments for the whole team, which means he can remove poison. The only downside is that move is a single target attack on the enemies, and then he removes the ailment from the whole team. So essentially, you're just not doing anything for that turn except removing the ailments. Take increases all of his stats by 15%. Well, not all. Strength, endurance, agility, I think. Yeah, and he gives him a 75% status ailment resistance, which is great. Chigusa, like I said before, hits extremely hard and increases the special attack gain by 100%. Then we have the Haruhime, and under the Haruhime we have the Christmas Hestia, which all you guys should have had because you get her from this event. Was it this event or last? She's a free-to-play character, which is why she's the only one that's level 80 thus far. She increases water and earth damage by 10%, as well as something else. Let me just have a quick look. Bear with me. Oh, plus 10% guard rate and counter rate by 8. Okay. So guard rate, counter rate is what we're aiming for. Haruhime's counters can be clutch sometimes. I don't see anyone really dying in this one, but Haruhime's heal counters can be clutch. We're coming up to 7 minutes. Speed up. Then we have Mikoto. Mikoto has a... You know what? I'm just going to show you. We have here the Crossing Lilies. It's strength, agility, and dexterity buff by 25% for 3 turns. Ultra uncounter rate, that's great. We also have Wild Boar. These are the main 2 you're going to be using on the first stage because it's an AoE boss area. So yeah, and we're going. It gives a 50% slow, which is great. Getting moves in before the boss is can be clutch, but Mikoto with the buff plus the debuff, fantastic. She also hits pretty hard anyway, and that is team number 2. Those are my recommendations. I'm not going to cover my assists too much. If you do have both Ariadne's, remember that if you're using a revolving amulet, you can't stack both Ariadne's buffs at the same time. So that's just important to remember. Anyway, guys, I really do hope this helped. I'm sorry how late it came out, and I'm sorry I've had to make the video shorter, so I can't give you a demo right now. If you guys want, I can put out a demo of these teams tomorrow or another time. Just let me know in the comments and I will. But yeah, make sure to drop a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you haven't. Make sure to follow me on Twitter. The link will be in the description. If you want to join my community, the link to my Discord will be in the description. And as always, guys, I'll catch you later.